Today I'm here on the road that goes from Marrakech to Ouarzazate. We're going over the Atlas Mountains into the Draa Valley, from the more temperate side of Morocco to the more desert side. Today's drive has me going over the high Atlas Mountains, on a relatively long and winding road. As I climb in altitude, the seasons begin to change, with yellow leaves indicating autumn, and snow-capped peaks in the distance indicating that winter is fast approaching. A quick stop for a delicious lamb and apricot tagine at the mountain pass, and I realize that I've reached the beginning of the rain shadow that creates the vast deserts of Morocco and Africa. The countryside here reminds me of the American Southwest, but with a distinctly Moroccan style of architecture. The pace of life is a bit slower in this part of Morocco, and we're in the regions populated by the indigenous Berber people. I'm here in the town of Aït Ben Haddou. You might recognize this town because it's in a lot of Hollywood productions. It's in Game of Thrones, Prince of Persia, even Lawrence of Arabia. The town is located off a side road just before you reach Ouarzazate, and it's free to visit. You can see why Hollywood likes making movies here, like at the old Casbah, with all of its twists and turns and secret passages and beautiful vistas. Aït Ben Haddou is just one location that has helped make Ouarzazate into the Hollywood of North Africa. And what's amazing about these buildings is they're all made from mud and straw. Morocco loves these distinctive themed roundabouts. We'll see more in future episodes. These two let us know that we're in the movie-making area of Morocco. On my way into Ouarzazate, I pass by CLA Studios and Atlas Studios, where a variety of famous films and TV shows have been made. It's clear to me that money from the film industry has helped make Ouarzazate a relatively affluent and well-kept town. Like Aït Ben Haddou, Ouarzazate has its own historic Casbah, which has been a shooting location for Sheltering Sky, Gladiator, and Prince of Persia. It's slightly more modern and well-kept than the one in Aït Ben Haddou. And now, let's take a look at the view. One thing I've noticed about this more rural and developing part of Morocco is that the country is investing its growing wealth in new infrastructure, blasting away mountains, carrying away rock, and bringing in concrete to turn what were once winding 2-lane roads into 3- and 4-lane highways. I imagine in the coming years, road trips through Morocco will be getting easier and easier. The country is also investing in renewable energy, like this, the world's largest concentrated solar power plant, located just outside Ouarzazate. It makes 300 megawatts. An undersea cable that's already been built to Spain will allow Morocco to eventually export its renewable energy. The country is building extensive wind farms as well for just this purpose. As I continue on my drive to the Sahara, we're getting into a more rustic part of Morocco. Unlike Fez and Marrakech, This region is more populated by the traditional Berber or Amazigh people. One thing that Morocco has in abundance is canyons with dramatic landscapes. Let's take a ride through a few of them. I've booked a room for the night high up in the Todgha Gorges. This is supposed to be one of the most scenic roads in the world, but dangerousroads.com also lists it as the 5th most dangerous road in the world. My only problem, it's quickly getting dark, and I'm wondering if I will make it before it's pitch black. It looks like I won't. Well, as you can see, I made it to the Hotel Berbe de la Montagne, where I was the only guest and had a $25 a night room. But it's time to eat breakfast and go see that gorge I didn't get to see. The road is dramatically carved into the side of the mountain at times. It reminded me somewhat of the Going to the Sky Highway at Glacier National Park in Montana. At dinner the night before, the innkeeper man gave me some history on the region. As recently as 2 generations ago, families in the Todgha Gorges lived in caves primarily, like these. Now, only 3 families in the gorge still choose to live with that lifestyle. And to my amazement, this is the winding road I had come up the night before, in the total darkness. This would be my first time seeing it and driving it in daylight. I'm not sure I would agree it's the 5th most dangerous road, unless you happen to be these men walking up the side of the road. While I'm here in the Canyonlands part of Morocco, I'm going to drive 1 more hour over to another gorge, the Todgha Gorge. Unlike the Todgha Gorge, the Todgha Gorge is relatively flat and fed by a more active river, lending this oasis-like feel to the entrance of the gorge. As usual, I found myself reminded of another place, Morocco National Park in Taiwan. This section was also reminiscent of the Narrows in Zion National Park, USA. After briefly stopping to take in the rock climbers, it was time to be on my way towards the Sahara. A quick stop for a delicious olive tagine lunch got the cats and dogs to notice my presence. The edge of the Sahara in Morocco has become a bit of a tourist hotspot, with dinosaur stores, fossil sites, various souvenir shops, and all manner of handicrafts that are available for purchase. The landscape was becoming drier and drier, and took on a Martian-like atmosphere as I approached the very edge of the Sahara. So I've just arrived here in Merzouga. This is in the southeasternmost corner of Morocco. Actually, just behind me is the beginning of the real Sahara Desert, and the border with Algeria is a few miles back that way. So for some fun, I'm gonna stay here tonight at a Berber-style tent camp in the dunes. Gonna ride a camel out. Should be a lot of fun. The fact of the matter is, Merzouga is quite popular. There were dozens of Spanish and Italian college students when I was visiting. In some ways, I would liken Morocco for the Europeans like Florida in the United States. It's a place you head south that's all about fun. Before the automobile, this is where you would begin a 52-day camel journey across the Sahara to Timbuktu on the other side, going day by day from oasis to oasis and desert encampment to encampment. We'll just be traveling this 1 hour to this beautiful camp. Accommodations at the camp were $50 a night and included both dinner and breakfast. The camel ride was an additional $15. Somewhat to my amazement, there were only 3 guests at the camp that I stayed at. But we teamed up with a few of the other camps to participate in this traditional Berber drum circle. Although it didn't work for video, my iPhone was able to capture these amazing photos of the desert sky. As the temperatures dropped, it was time to head to bed, but not before one last desert photo. I'll see you in the next episode.